A very good afternoon to one and all. This is Dr. Pranay Dute, and today we are going to discuss about the concept of engineering geology. What is the definition of engineering geology? What kind of study we are mostly focus on in the engineering geology subject. As we know that geology is the science. Geology is the science of the earth, which is not a basic science like mathematics, physics, chemistry, or biology, but it's an applied sciences. Okay, it's a part of applied sciences where we study whatever the process that is operating on Earth. We study that all the process, how the process is simultaneously applied on Earth. Like every subject, geology is also having a different branches. Okay, like in engineering, you have a civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and computer science, and all this one. Likewise, you have some different branches in geology also. Okay, so what that branches are? Branches are mineralogy, petrology, structural geology. All these are the different branches of the geology. Okay, so now in this lecture, we will mostly focus on the what is the engineering geology, what they are deal about, what kind of study we are taking, will we study under this subject. So before going into the engineering geology, what kind of application we have for engineering geology? So in a civil engineering, mining engineering, petroleum engineering, and environmental engineering, this is a four different branches of geological engineering. Okay, so in the geological engineering, the civil engineering is mostly consists of roads, foundation, tunnels, slopes, and dams. What is the road? You know that for transportation to connect the two places, we need a transportation or road network. We need a road network. That road network, before constructing any road, we should know about what kind of foundation for that particular area. What is the foundation for that particular area? Like if you have some shape, something like that, you don't go for the construction of that particular area. So this is what the civil engineering is all about: a study of structure, basement, slopes, and dams. Dams, you know that dams is constructed to retain water. Dams can be constructed to retain water and will be used after the rainy season in summer and something like that for agricultural crops and also for drinking water purpose. So this is the application of geological engineering and civil engineering. Next one, a more important, mining engineering. What is the mining engineering? Mining engineering is the simplest one. Whatever you are mining from the earth is very good resources, natural resources. We call them natural resources because we cannot make gold, uranium in a factories. They are all other natural resources. They are comes under the natural resources. So uranium, coal, gold. All of you know that what is the application of these metals. Okay, gold is having a good amount of the value for the gold is good. Uranium you use to reconstruct the electricity. Coal and uranium is having an application of for power generation, whereas gold is used mostly by the ornamental purpose by the mostly the females. So third one is the petroleum engineering. Petroleum engineering is consist of oil, natural gas, tar, and oil shales. So all these are the petroleum engineering. The environmental engineering is nothing but a groundwater waste. Environmental engineering is consist of groundwater waste, contaminant, pollution, and this all. So this is known as the environmental engineering. What is the scope of engineering geology? What is the scope of engineering geology? Engineering geology may be defined as the branch of applied sciences, which deal with the application of geology, for a safe and economic design. So that is a scope of engineering geology. So the basic objective of engineering geology are twofold. one of the basic objective is to understand the application, what kind of application we have of geology in a construction and all these sites. The another one is it enables geologists to understand the nature of geological information that is absolutely essential for the safe design and construction. So the work of the civil engineer to design the map for the construction of any engineering statue or any engineering construction. Like we have a road, dam, tunnels, and all these are the civil construction. But before going into the civil construction, we need to know about the what kind of foundation that particular area is having, what kind of foundation that area is having, whether that is a weaker zone, whether this is a strong foundation. So that you all study in the geology. Then what is the scope of engineering geology next to this all? So this is what you can study in the engineering geology, the surveying. Okay. So surveying technique need a geological knowledge, what kind of whatever the instrument you are using. So you know the analytical of that instrument, but what kind of data you have to take, like lat long, deep, strike, and all. For that you need a basic of a geology. So then the correlation and so what is the geology and civil engineering connection? So the scope of engineering geology is the best study with the reference to major activities of the profession of civil engineering, which are construction, water resources, development, town and regional planning. So this is a application of geological engineering in the geology in a engineering, civil engineering especially. The geology in the construction job. So in all type of heavy construction jobs such as building, towers, tanks, dam, reservoir, highways, bridges, traffic and hydropower tunnels, etc. All these are the jobs, a construction job in a civil engineering site. So full geological information about the site of construction is very much required to before the construction and finalize that area. Then geology and civil engineering. This is what kind of information you needed. So when you are going to the tunnel, blasting and all this operation, you need to know the basement, what kind of rocks you have, whether that is a soft rock, whatever the structure is present there, whether it is a fault, whether it is a fold and all. The aspect of geology has a full relevance in all three aspects of each construction. The following geological information is greatly useful. The following geological information is greatly useful in planning and engineering project. The topographical maps, such maps gives the detail of relief feature and are essential to understand the relative merit and demerit of all the possible sites. Hydrological maps, these maps give the broad detail about the distribution and geometry of the surface water channel and also the occurrences and depth contour of groundwater. So what kind of information you need to for a civil construction? First is planning. So you need a topographical maps. In what topographical map? Nothing but the showing you the what kind of things is located where. That is what you identify in a topographical map. Then you have a hydrological map. What is the area? What is the condition of water in that particular area? Then you have a geological map which suggests what kind of rocks you have in that particular area. So this is the different application in the map. Then some of the geological character that have direct or indirect bearing upon the design of a proposed project, that are existence of hard bed rock and their depth from the inclination, the mechanical properties along and across the site of the proposed project, presence and nature and distribution pattern of planes and structural weaknesses, the position of groundwater table in a totality, seismic character of the area as deciphered from the seismic history and prediction about the future seismicity. then geology and civil engineering, then geology and civil engineering. So there is a unsaturated rock and saturated rock. What is the saturated rock? Saturated rock is nothing but the showing you the water table. Where is the water table exactly are? So civil engineering project, you have a basic principle of foundation. So you need a seismic activity of that particular area. What kind of seismic condition for that particular area? So the engineer responsible for an quality control, engineer is responsible for the quality control of construction material, will derive enormous benefit from his geological background of the nature materials such as sand, gravel, and crushed rock. Similarly, for construction in geological sensitive areas are those of coastal beds, seismic zone, and permafrost region, knowledge of geological history of the area is of great importance. Construction of underground projects like tunnels cannot at all be undertaken without through the knowledge of a geological character. So this is what the geology is all about. The application of geology in civil engineering. This is some of the photographs of the operation which has been take place during the civil engineering construction, where you have found the application of geology. So, what is the application of geology in water resource development? So, when you have exploration and development of water resources, when you have exploration and development of water resources, which have become very important areas of activities for a scientist, technologists, and engineers in all parts of world. The water resources engineer has to understand the water cycle in all the essential details. So this is what kind of application we have. This is what kind of application we have for the civil engineering project. Okay. So different kind of application we have. So first we seen about what kind of application we have in a water resources. Now application of this one in a civil construction. Now we are going into the water resources development. The water resource engineering has to understand the water cycle in all essential details. Study of water cycle is an essential prerequisite for effective planning and execution of major water resources. Geology in water resource development. Geology in water resource development. These are the one of the important criteria to define and to differentiate all the area depending upon the water. So there is a digital India where we have a planning, town planning and regional planning is going on. So town planner is needed. A concern is essential with the land utilization and best known about the area. The regional town planner is responsible for adopting an integration approach in all such cases of allocation of land for a developmental projects. Thus, a change induced in natural setup of an area due to a proposed new project is going to lead a series of changes in the adjoining and even in a distance places. In nature, nothing works in isolation. As such, all sound planning must be in tune with the natural feature and process of region. There is a certain geology in town and regional planning. This is what a different kind of structure we what kind of things we are planning for a digital India and all smart city project. We are going to have to for a use this one. So there is a brief history. We are going to see about a brief history about how the earth is formed. According to currently held view of the earth, the planet of the solar system originated from the hot gas dust cloud probably formed by the supernova explosion. Mean one of the Big Bang theory also considered as the same, that one of the particle from which all these planets has been get formed. So the dust particles are considered to have a aggregate into the clumps of material that grew into the prismoidal planet. In the early phases, when the cloud called a solar nebula was very hot, mainly iron-rich compound accumulated into the protoplanets to form what would become the iron-rich planetary cores, while low-density silicates mineral of the outer parts were formed at a later stage, lower temperature. This give the present radial segregation into the distinct chemical zones. Now, what is the formation of Earth and Earth crust? So, Earth and Earth crust is formed by the supernova explosion. What we study in this before this one, the Earth began to cool. The Earth is began to cool by loss of heat and of radiation. The first rock to be formed in the Earth were formed by the cooling and consolidation of molten rock material. They belong to the important class of rock, igneous rock, because of the high temperature and this formation. So we divided Earth into three different parts. First one is the crust, mantle, and core. Crust, mantle, and core. So this is the three different classification we have. This is the three different classification we have from which we classify the Earth. So Earth is then reclassified into the different parts like lower mantle, oceanic crust, continental crust, and all. So brief history of formation of Earth and Earth crust. Brief history of formation of Earth and Earth crust. So present Earth is going for inner crust, outer core. Okay, inner core, outer core. This is a two different part. Then you have a lower mantle and upper mantle. Okay, we have a lower mantle and upper mantle. So this is a different classes we have. This is the different classes we have for this one. Then magma, ocean. Okay, molten iron, and so this is a different classification we have for this one. So, brief history of formation of Earth and Earth history already seen. So we have classified the Earth into a different form like crust, mantle, and core. The formation of Earth and Earth crust. So Earth, when the Earth formed, there is a magmatic eruption, magma and lava, two things which can be same in a chemical composition. What is the difference between the magma and lava? Just the basic difference is when the this material inside the earth, that is known as magma, when that is on a surface, that flow on a surface is known as the lava. This is the simplest. Okay, so brief history of formation of earth and earth crust. When the first rock of the solid crust, when the first rock of the solid crust were formed, obviously no water could exist on the earth in the liquid form at this stage. All of it being held in the atmosphere in the form of vapor. As the earth cooled down to below boiling point of the vapor began to condense and the first rain fell, the water accumulated in the hollows and depression of a land surface forming the first ocean and gradually system of river, lakes, ocean, etc. Water, as soon as the appear in the liquid state, begin to attack the first form rock with the help of atmosphere, as a result causing the consequently decay of the rock called the rock weathering. All these product of the decay of a land are carried by the running water and are ultimately dumped into the ocean bottom and accumulated there for ages of forming thick layer of new rocks. The newly formed rocks, as soon as they are emerged from the sea, comes under the attack of water and atmosphere and the newly formed ocean start receiving material derived from the decay of the rockland. The rock formed by the deposition of rock waste on ocean are called a sedimentary rock, and as a result of number of such a sedimentary cycle, vast piles of sedimentary rocks have been accumulated in a different part of earth, different geological periods. So the sedimentary stages of the rock cycle: weathering break down rock, erosion carries away particle, then the transportation move particle downhill. This is the different stages of sedimentary rock. This is the different stages of sedimentary rock and rock cycle. So as we have a three different type of rock: igneous rock, which is formed from the magma and lava. This rock, sedimentary rock, is formed from the transportation, disintegration, erosion, weathering, transportation, diagenesis. All this process is get involved in form of sedimentary rocks. Brief history of formation of earth and earth crust. The internal process, the period of uplift of sedimentary rock, are period of great crustal instability. The internal forces that develop gives rise to tectonic earth movement by the sediment, which are folded into the high mountain like Himalayas and Alps. Large quantities of the molten rock material called magma, which is formed by the melting of crustal rocks and are outpoured on the surface through the volcano as lava. The forces which bring about the tectonic earth movement are also responsible for giving rise the third type of rock, that is known as the metamorphic rock. So you have a igneous rock, you have a sedimentary rock, and you have a metamorphic rock. So this is third metamorphic rock. Thus the operation of different geological process. So metamorphic rock is formed by the recrystallization of the rock. So this is how your rock cycle is going to operate. Thank you for listening this lecture. So this is what the different kind of this is what the different kind of operation. This is what different kind of operation we have for the formation for the engineering, civil engineering. So civil engineering product, civil engineering construction, what we are use, civil engineering construction, what we are use is need of a proper geological knowledge. What we need a proper geological knowledge, which can be very much useful for the formation of, for the construction in the side of construction and all. So that is what we are all study geology in a civil engineering branch. So the information about this all the structure, information about this all the structure can be very much useful. The information of this all the structure is very much useful for the civil engineering product. So thank you for listening this lecture. If you have any queries, you can ask me by emailing me. There is a mail ID given in the description, so you can contact me on that mail. Uh, thank you all.